I went from struggling to grow my business, churning clients every single month, to being able to consistently land 500 B2B client demos on command every single month. And I did that using the exact clay.com workflow I'm about to give you in this video. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how you can use Clay to find the right people, send the right outreach messages, book more meetings, and ultimately get more B2B clients for your business this year. So before we dive into this video, I'm sure you're thinking, how can I believe what you're pitching fundamentally? And so what I wanted to show you before we dig into the meat and the tactics behind this video and how you'd be able to generate as many leads as we do for our business, I just want to show you a couple of things internally that kind of prove the methodology and the tactics that we're using are generating a tremendous amount of demos. As you can see, this is a rolling 30-day demo calendar, 200 total demos booked. And if I transfer over to sales team's calendar, let me just give you a preview of what this looks like on a weekly basis. Now, this is just, I have one inside sales rep on the team, and so these are all the demos. If you also add an additional demo calendar onto this, what you'll start to see and populate, obviously, is a tremendous amount more on the calendar. So as you can see from this video, this isn't just conjecture, this isn't just air, this is a real tactical strategy that will help you generate as many leads as we do every single month. Now, in order to make this video as impactful and as tactical as possible, I'm actually going to walk you through the kind of three-step process I would use in order to generate 200 to 500 leads every single month, and also fundamentally show you the step-by-step process that we follow internally and the tools we use so that you can do exactly the same. So really, for this campaign, there's going to be three parts. The first is going to be setting up your email infrastructure. The second is going to be generating your lead lists. The third is going to be generating personalized videos and then sending these videos to your prospects. And we're going to go through each step in depth so you can do exactly the same. Now, the first step is setting up your email infrastructure. It's probably the most important step, and often ones that people tend to kind of forget or not prioritize. For people that are new to the cold email world, it's not enough just to have your primary email domain and then send a bunch of emails. That will quickly get blocked by Google and you'll lose access to that domain. So what setting up your email infrastructure means is you're setting up clean inboxes that are warmed up, ready to go, and that give you a high percentage chance of landing in somebody's primary inbox. Now, there's a number of tools on the market that make that extremely easy, but we use internally a platform called Smartlead. Now, really with email infrastructure, I'd separate it into a couple of parts fundamentally. The first being buying multiple email domains to send from, and then the second is creating a private server, which actually increases the likelihood again of your cold email messages landing in the primary inbox. Now, all of those things might seem complex, and they used to be. You had to kind of do a lot of this manually, but Smartlead provides a very a la carte smart solution so you can do everything inside of one platform. So I'm inside the Smartlead account at the moment, and as you can see from our account, these are all the email domains that we currently have set up inside of Smartlead. So we have 42 different email accounts, and inside of those accounts, we have over 15 email domains that we've purchased. The main reason that you purchase multiple email domains, if you send them from your primary business email domain and that domain gets blocked, that will lock your kind of whole Google account down, and so you really don't want to do that. So inside of Smartlead, make it really simple. Simply connect an inbox or use their Smart Sender feature where you can actually go in and buy Google Outlook inboxes and domains directly from the platform. So that's the first kind of component that is already kind of set up. You can then go into each one of these emails that you purchase and warm them up. So again, the second component is automatically done from inside the Smartlead platform. So just taking a look here, you can set the number of warm-up emails per day. They suggest 40, which I think is really good. They have a daily ramp up, which is more emails being added every single day. And so fundamentally, what warm-up is doing is just making Google, Outlook, the providers that you're using, believe that this is a legitimate email address that's not being used primarily for cold email. That's the warm-up component. Now, one of the things that we also get from Smartlead is something called a smart server. Other providers are available, but what that lets you do is basically have a dedicated email server with your own IP and full control over deliverability. And just some quick stats. If you set up a smart server, this is what Smartlead predicts from a kind of bounce rate and a reply standpoint. What I would say is you would create multiple servers based on the volume of email. We send about 50K monthly, and so one smart server is absolutely fine. Now, the final thing that they actually do to kind of put that all together is actually run spam tests. So once you've got your infrastructure set up, you can run a spam test inside of Smartlead, and basically that will show you placement inside of inboxes. So if you run one of these tests inside of their platform and you see the results are super low, then there's probably some components in your email infrastructure that you need to improve upon in order to make that better fundamentally. That's really the first step of this whole whole strategy is how do you go in and how do you create really robust email infrastructure to then continue forward into the next part of this strategy. So the second part of this strategy is how do you get really high quality leads for you to reach out to. For the purpose of this and what we use internally, we use a platform called Clay. And just to give you a bit of preamble as to why we use Clay and why Clay is such an effective platform to generate leads. If anybody's watching this and has done cold email for years and have used some of the older school lead platforms, typically the only kind of filtering or drilling down that you're able to do on leads is stuff like company size, job role, and that's fairly antiquated in the approach, in my opinion. What Clay enables you to do is pull really highly qualified scored lead lists, and so the leads that you're going to reach out to are going to have a higher propensity to buy from you. I'm also going to run you through kind of my setup, how I think about building these Clay tables, because I think for some people watching this, Clay, if you've used it before, might seem fairly technical. And then secondarily, I want to walk you through my exact process so you can replicate it to generate those leads for your business. So the first thing you're going to do before even logging into Clay is really build out what you think your target company is. Now, this might seem rather simplistic, but fundamentally what you want to do is really categorize who is a great fit for your business. And so what I've done here is say we want to target software companies, 200 to 500 employees. These software companies are typically investing in outbound, so want to pull through companies that one, have open SDR job roles, currently have 5+ SDRs on their team, and we should only target software companies that are B2B and currently have a sales engagement tool. So the reason I like to start from this, if you jump into Clay without doing this exercise before you jump in, what you'll typically do is get lost and not really know what leads you want to contact or generate inside of the Clay platform. So really good idea to build almost like a pre-document, I would say, where you outline the type of leads that you want to contact. And I've built a table inside of Clay, but I'm going to walk you through step by step how I've taken that earlier overview of our ideal customer profile and actually pulled it into a really highly qualified lead list. So the first search I did was very basic. I searched for software development companies and company size of 200 to 500 employees located in the United States. So this has pulled this long list of leads. So typically that's where people would stop. This is the target customer that I go after, so let's pull that entire lead list. If you remember, my first qualification criteria was actually I want them to make sure that they're a B2B business. Sometimes with software, they might be B2C, and so B2B businesses only. What you would do inside of Clay is actually use what they call their Clayagent, which is an AI agent, and you can add this as an enrichment to basically go, and I'll just walk you through the prompt I've used. Based on the company's domain, I've scraped their website and find if they sell to B2B companies. I've then asked it to return a yes or no. Now, as you can see here, every single person, I've run a list of 10 just to make sure that it's easy to walk through. Every single company here is a B2B SaaS company. The second component that I've pulled out is, as you remember from that original document, I want to find people that have open SDR job roles, which actually means that they're probably investing in their tech stack. What I've done here is actually run another enrichment, which Clay calls it. So each enrichment is just making that lead even more qualified. And what I've asked it to do is basically look at the company domain and then see if they have any sales development roles in their organization. And again, it's return numbers. So for some of these 0, some of these 54, 52, another tick in the box, even more highly qualified for my business. So we know they're B2B. We now know that they have open job roles for SDRs, showing that they're investing in their outbound motion. What I've then done is say, hey, I also want to know if they have current SDRs on their team. And so what this enrichment is actually doing, if I show you, is basically looking at the company domain, looking through their currently hired employees, and do they have anybody in sales development or business development? And what that will return again is a number. So 4 here, 6 here, 7, 27, 9. So again, now we know hiring for job roles and do they currently have SDRs? I've then used this enrichment to basically pull all those technologies that I'm interested in. So for here, we integrate with HubSpot and Salesforce. So I want to know all of these companies that use both HubSpot and Salesforce. At this stage, what we've been able to do, and again, think about the previous way of doing it, which was very simplistic, job title, and company profile. Well, now actually we've gone a level deeper. And as you can see, next to each column, I've scored them. So if they're a B2B company, I've given them a 1. I'm using a simple formula that you can see here. So I'm just saying job opening, is it a 1 or a 0? If they've got more than one job opening for an SDR, score it a 1. If not, score it a 0. What I've done at the end is done a total lead score based on how many of those criteria, again, going back to that original document, that these companies meet. So the 4s would be the highest propensity, would probably have the most interest in a solution like ours that helps help outbound teams. Now from there, we get people data. So what you need to do is hit that, find people at these companies, and just put in your normal job filter. So name, role, and that's pulled them through. So now for the companies that we've pulled into that first table, we now have the relevant contacts at that company. So Clay works in a system where you first generate your company list, you then go a level deeper and find the relevant people at that company. I've now got the right roles at those companies. Clay also uses waterfall enrichment process to find contact information. So again, unlike other providers that have the one way of finding emails, Clay leverage a number of different data providers that enable you to run through, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in order to find the best email for that person, which means massive data coverage and a lot more likelihood that you're going to get the relevant leads that you want. Some people might be watching this and thinking, Ben, that seems very complex and not something that I need to do. But actually in this day and age where you're trying to get the highest qualified or highest likelihood to buy leads, this is the way to do it, to pull lead lists that actually may have an interest in your product. If you're interested in generating hundreds of demos for your business, it's never been easier with the number of tools that are in the market today. We just dropped a video on how to use DeepSeek and Looms to scale and generate demand for your business. We also have a free guide, so make sure you go ahead and watch that video. We'll drop a link in the comments to this one. So now we have our lead list. I'm now going to show you how we can create highly targeted campaigns and turn these leads into new business. To do this, we're going to use SendSpark to send highly personalized videos to each and every person inside our Clay table. But before we get into that, why should you use video? Well, one of the reasons you're probably watching this video right now is because outbound is getting harder than ever. Generic lead lists paired with generic emails make it extremely difficult to break through the noise in people's inboxes, which makes video a great way to stand out. Now, historically, video has been really difficult to do at scale. You may have used solutions in the past like Loom or Vidyard and struggled to make this scale. With SendSpark, you have the ability to create one video and use AI to create highly personalized versions of that video for each and every person you're reaching out to. In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about how SendSpark works and then round out how you can create videos for each of those leads inside of Clay and send those out at scale. Now let's show you how we can create personalized videos for each person that we've pulled from our Clay table. What makes SendSpark so incredible is not just the AI functionality of the platform, but it actually has an integration directly with Clay. So inside of your Clay table, you can simply add enrichment. You can search for SendSpark and it's going to say add prospect to video campaign. Now this is awesome because what you'll be able to do is just push contacts into SendSpark and then have the videos generate. So we're going to do this. We're going to add our API key. We'll add our account in here as well really quickly. And then we'll head over to SendSpark. What it basically does is push people into your specified campaign directly from Clay, utilizing that enrichment. But before we get too deep into the videos that it's created, I actually think it's helpful to walk you through the campaign creation process from start to finish, i.e. how easy it is to set up these campaigns, how does the AI work, and how do the AI videos sound. What SendSpark basically enables you to do and the way that the platform works is it's going to have you firstly record a video with generic placeholder phrases. So in this one, I said, hey there, Ben over at SendSpark. I saw the company was hiring for SDRs on the team. So you're going to say that in the initial video upload. What the SendSpark platform will then do is transcribe the entire video into this script, as you're seeing here. And then what you're able to do is actually hover over specific variables and make them dynamic. So those are the elements that are going to get changed out with AI in your voice. And so here I've selected first name and company name. What SendSpark also has, which is awesome, is a dynamic background feature. So fundamentally what this allows you to do is change the screen behind you in the video to something that's relevant to the prospect. So that could be prospects, website, LinkedIn profile, things like that. So that's what you need to do for a setup standpoint. You're going to upload your video. You're basically going to have your transcribed script there, hover over, make them dynamic based on which variables you're looking to use. What SendSpark also has as a second step is a really cool landing page creator. So fundamentally, what we're going to show you at the end of this workflow is how to push these videos out through your sales engagement platform. And so if you imagine now you're sending these videos at scale, these land in people's inboxes. If people click into their videos, what they're going to be taken to is a personalized landing page experience, which is going to have your logo up top, all nicely white labeled first name personalization. So this landing page will dynamically change for each person that hits it, making it super personalized. You can add in call to action buttons such as check out case studies or try out our platform. And then what you can even do is embed your calendar booking link, and SendSpark integrates 50 calendar booking link platforms, which means if they like the video, why not have them book time immediately on your calendar? Now, there's a variety of ways to import contacts into SendSpark. You can simply upload a CSV into the platform. But again, leveraging our Clay integration, what we've done is added the enrichment and pushed those contacts immediately into this campaign, which just makes the entire experience a lot more automated and efficient. Once these have been pushed in, let's just go ahead and sample some of the videos just so I can show you kind of what these look and sound like. So let's play this one first.
Hey Jeff, Ben over at SendSpark. I saw that Brick was hiring for SDRs on the team, and I thought I'd reach out. SendSpark provides a solution that enables teams to send highly personalized.
So that's one. Let's maybe go to Mauricio.
Hey Mauricio, Ben over at SendSpark. I saw that YOLO was hiring for SDRs on the team.
So again, fundamentally, right, I've just pulled a sampling of 10 contacts. You could do this for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, unlimited contacts. And so if you imagine that workflow where you've got your really good lead list from inside of Clay, you've been able to automatically push it inside of SendSpark. In a matter of minutes, you're going to have a personalized video created for each and every person. It's kind of incredible. Again, at the start of this section, I kind of talked about the old way of doing video, which was manually recording videos for each and every person, or the alternative, just including a generic video as part of your sequence, both of which lead to a drop off in both open rates and reply rates. Well, now with SendSpark, not only have you got that personalization tied to first name, company name, and those other variables that we talked about earlier, but also that dynamic background. What I'm going to show you as the final part of this is how it integrates into Smartlead. For the purpose of this demo, I'm going to use Smartlead as our sending platform. So now we've got our videos, we're now going to send them out to contacts or prospects. As you'll see here, SendSpark integrates with over 100 sales engagement and CRM platforms, which means regardless of the platform that you use, you're going to have great success. For the purpose of this, we're going to go ahead and integrate it into Smartlead. The final part of this process is actually sending out these videos to our prospect. In order to get leads, we need to send videos out. What I'm going to show you is the final step where you will push these videos into a sales engagement sequence. And it's a really simple process. So again, we've pushed our leads in from Clay. We've now got our videos generated. We're simply going to go to Smartlead and we're going to copy this HTML code snippet. That might seem somewhat complex, but all it is a line of code that will pull through the relevant video for the relevant prospect. Now, how does that actually work inside of Smartlead? Part of this is to do with good copy. We've made another video about that I'll link below. But for the purpose of this, I've made an example video with, I made a video for you, which actually performs really highly from a subject line standpoint. I said, hey, first name, I have an idea of how you could 3x your outbound reply rates, made a video showing you how. What I've done is paste in that code snippet, and what will appear like in the sequence preview is just a generic video template inside of the sequence steps. But as we proceed through this Smartlead step and we go towards the end, what you'll see is that placeholder is changed to that personalized video for each and every person. So when we send the sequence out of scale, and again, I've only done it for 10 contacts in this example just to give you the video walkthrough, but imagine now we've got 10,000 contacts inside of this sequence. Each person gets a personalized video as that step in the sequence. So that's really where it should kind of really make an impact for you, because not only have I showed you how you can generate those videos en masse, but now you can send them en masse as well through a platform like Smartlead, and that's where actually you're gonna generate your leads from fundamentally. So in this video, I showed you the step-by-step process you should follow in order to generate 200 to 500 leads every single month for your business. And it's simple. Set up good email infrastructure using Smartlead, generate a high-quality lead list using Clay, generate personalized videos at scale using SendSpark, then push these videos back into Smartlead at scale to generate leads for your business. Now, if you want to succeed with these video outreach messages, you're going to need to really be sending volume, like at least 1,000 a day. So click here to check out the next one, where I show you how you can build a system that will allow you to send 1,000 cold emails every single day using this personalized video outreach method, so that you can literally just copy it for your own business and send the volume of outreach you know you need to be hitting. If you're serious about growing and scaling your business, I'll see you over there.